All right, this is the Carver Swarm here. We're interviewing Thomas Gilman today, the 125-pounder for Iowa. So you're a history major.
Yep.
What's your ethnic background?
A little bit of everything.
Right.
My grandpa always said I'm a Heinz mixture,
Nice, nice.
like Heinz 57. So, um, well, my grandma, my maternal grandmother is actually from Germany. So I got a lot of German background, Irish, English. Other than that, I'm not sure.
Got a lot of fight in you then.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What historical figure would you want to wrestle, and why?
Like
You could have a
historical
match
wrestler?
with him. Yeah, well, anybody.
Anybody?
Anybody in history that.
That's a tough one. I'd say Hannibal.
Ah, nice, nice.
He took on the Romans, and he
Right.
seemed like a great leader and a great individual fighter as well.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a lot of like, good individual fighters and leaders throughout history, but Hannibal really sticks out in my mind. So,
Okay, so which historical figure do you compare yourself kind of with? Do you see traits that maybe line up with a little bit?
people might laugh, but Napoleon.
Right, right.
You know, I'm a little guy, but I'm a big leader.
Right.
And you know, just because I'm 25 pounder doesn't mean I can't lead the whole, putting my whole heart and effort, and I do. Energy into it, wrestling, doing everything I can, you know, to put my effort and energy into it, and relationships as well, you know, with my family and my girlfriend and my friends, you know, those things take a lot of energy too, so,
Definitely.
you know, gotta be passionate about everything I do.
Definitely. Name one thing you consider sacred.
Sacred. There's a couple things. Just something physical is the wrestling complex here. I mean, it's named after Dan Gable. It's our sanctuary. You know, that's where some people go to church and pray to God. And you know, I'm a God-fearing man as well, but that's my sanctuary is the wrestling complex. I go there to put my worries at ease and to get away from the world, and also relationships. You know, relationships are important. You know, especially going through what I go through every day. You know, I need those people to be behind me and to support me, and I need to support them as well.
What are your pastimes?
I love to read the newspaper. I love to read. It's something that kind of just like takes me away. You know, some people play video games or whatever, but I like to just, you know, grow, build my mind, and just know what's going on, and also jump into a book and just kind of, you know, a historical book kind of takes you back in time. You know, puts you in that place, and you know, just takes you away from reality for a little bit and eases your mind. So I like to do that.
Cool.
Keeps me concentrated.
Who's your biggest high school rival?
Biggest high school rival? I don't know. That's hard because I wrestled in Nebraska, which we went to some tough tournaments. That's why I went there, you know, to get the national scene. But didn't really have too many high school rivals. But you know, going back pre-high school, Cory Clark, you know, I'm a teammate of mine now. You know, we've wrestled, you know, I say probably over 100 times. Wow. You know, just growing up, and even in high school too, at freestyle events too. So
being in the room with him, that was one of the things I was going to talk about. Being in the room with him, you know, being that he was your biggest rival probably back then, and competing with him at 125 originally, you know, and you guys going back and forth and ups and downs, and you know, it's been documented, you know, the not trying to, but there just becomes that rivalry a little bit. Now that it's subsided, now that you guys get a chance to kind of, I mean, you still probably go at it in the room, and there's always the pride, you know.
Right.
But when you get a chance, like, to look at each other, watch each other wrestle, you know, and be on the same team, you know, what do you think, looking at your rival out there, your high school rival, as your teammate now?
It's awesome. That's one of the, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I came to Iowa, but I mean, that was one of them, having the best workout partners, you know, in the world, arguably. And, you know, being able to battle with him, and he's, you know, one of the best wrestlers in the nation, you know, so it's just, it helps us grow, and then being able to see him going out there and doing well, it means a lot too, because, you know, like you said, we're teammates.
Now, the awesome thing is Tom Brands has this philosophy where true freshmen aren't really starting. They're gonna sit on the side. They're gonna take a year and they're gonna learn the ability to crack the lineup or whatever when you're battling with somebody like that. That's
right. I think it's just based on the individual's perspective on the situation and on life, and how they're gonna overcome the difficulties that, you know, they encounter during that year. You know, there could have been plenty of times where me and Clark or one of us could have just said, "Hey, screw it," I might not ever get in the lineup, because we're both at the same weight. This guy's beaten me the last 4 out of 5 practices. I don't know how I'm ever going to do it. But then you can look at it like that, or you can look at it like, hey, like he's beaten me. What can I do to get better? What kind of time am I going to put in? What kind of effort am I going to put in to overcome that? And that's what, helped us overcome those things. He elevates his level, and I elevate mine. It's helped us both get better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've seen the growth, the growth process, the maturity process. I watched interviews from you when you were just won your 4th title at Nebraska, in high school, and to see your demeanor there, and then see your demeanor after an interview now.
Right.
The growth process there is so immensely huge, and it's a lot of the mental. It's not so much physical. It's not that you've gotten that much better technique wise and stuff, which you have. But I mean, at the same time, I think a lot of it has to do with the mental growth. So, who's your biggest college rival?
Nathan Tomasella from Ohio State. Me and him have wrestled a dozen times probably since I've been in college. Only one time I think before college at the Junior World Trials, but it's always a scrap, whenever we wrestle, and I know it's going to be a fight, and I've beat him, if we wrestle a dozen times, I beat him 11 times. The only time he's beaten me is at the Big Tens last year, and that is a real sore spot right in my gut, right in my heart, and, I'm looking forward to get that one back because, what's a rivalry if it's, if we don't wrestle, so, looking forward to get that one back.
What wrestlers or a wrestler do you want another match with? If you could have another match with any wrestler, anybody out there that you would like to even score up with, or somebody that you just want to have another scrap with, who would it be?
There's 2. Tomasella, obviously, after the Big Tens last year, and him winning the Nationals last year, and Nico Maglutis. Wrestled him twice, once in freestyle, once in folk style in Carver. Lost both times. So, those were a few years ago.
I'll say a word or a person. You give me one word to describe them or thoughts on it. Tom Brands.
Intense.
Alan Waters.
Pussy.
Napoleon Bonaparte.
The man.
War.
Bloody.
Chaz DeVader.
Technical.
Carver fans.
Awesome.
Cory Clark.
The man.
Terry Brands.
Intense.
Zeke Moisey.
Gamer.
Patrick Gilman.
My father.
Nice. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.